New Trend Society, the BDX Marketing Podcast with Benjamin Dietering.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the New Trend Society podcast. Today we are recording live here in our Los Angeles office out in Culver City. And today on the podcast is a smart entrepreneur. He's German. He is the owner and the founder of one of the biggest paid Skool communities in Europe or Germany. It's called NO925. We're going to talk about that later. And he also owns a company for personal branding called Elevate. He just flew over from New York, so I'm happy we have the chance to chat here. You're here for a couple of days, and welcome to the podcast, Tim Krasenbrink.
Benny, thanks so much for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm amazing, thanks. I just arrived in LA 3 days ago, and it takes some time to arrive actually here. But I guess now I'm feeling the vibe, and I love the city, and it's very cool. So thanks so much for having me, and I'm looking forward to having this conversation.
Yeah, actually, I'm a big fan of your work, of especially the content you're putting out on a daily basis, which is a lot. You told me prior, it's 45 content pieces per week.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But first, you just were in New York, and I want to know, I saw it on your Instagram story, you were at Tony Robbins event. How was it? And how did you end up there?
Yeah, cool. So actually one of my so-called business friends, Dr. Mark Reinbach from Germany, he is a platinum at Tony Robbins. So this is kind of a close inner circle community of Tony Robbins with a lot of like successful entrepreneurs that travel to the biggest Tony Robbins events, and they join like first row experience there. And he's allowed to bring one of his friends to all these events. So I had the pleasure to actually join him, even though he canceled last second. So I just came came alone. Just flew from Germany to New York to experience that, and it was my very first Tony event, and it was my very first event in general about personal development and all these kind of things. So I was just throwing myself into the cold water, coming to the States for now 12 days overall. And I just had this boost of this event, and then coming over to LA. So I'm full of energy and looking forward to our conversation.
Nice. As you're an expert in personal branding yourself, what did you learn from Tony Robbins?
Honestly, I love to see other people on stage and actually analyzing what they are doing in terms of how they speak, how they behave, how they use their hands, their eyes, how they engaged with the audience. And Tony Robbins is actually like top tier. He's the Champions League. Honestly, like the first day he came on stage and he was talking for 14 hours straight without taking a toilet break, without drinking a glass of water, without eating anything.
14 hours.
This guy was honestly there was only day one out of 4. Day one, he was on stage for 14 hours straight. He had no notes, no break or anything. He was just raw dogging that shit, you know. He wasn't even checking up on his notes and questioning himself what's next. You know, he was engaging with the community. He knew exactly what was the next step. And I was just experiencing that, and also from a personal branding perspective, you know, analyzing how people behave on stage and, as said, engage with the audience. That was honestly like a masterpiece. And doing this or seeing this, him in his age and also having his experience, it was really so fulfilling for me to just have an access to this person. Like he was literally standing 2 centimeters in front of me, also engaging with everyone, also with me and the guys around me. It was insane. Also, I took a lot of notes about the personal development stuff, but how he behaved on stage, that definitely had an impact on me.
That's wild. Yeah. I mean, I saw the documentary. I'm Not Your Guru. Yeah. I think that's it's
on Netflix, right?
Netflix documentary, and it's pretty insightful. It's almost like a clan or a secte, right? Very very wild. Like he has a really core following, and people are crazy about it.
Yeah.
But I get it if they get their joy, if they get their fulfillment by it, and that's really amazing to see. One small thing I always see with speakers like him. I mean, when I held keynotes, I usually just have a mic in my hand, but I'm gonna stop doing that. I always want to be mic'd up. As you need both hands to talk. That's what reminded me when you were talking just now. You need your hands to show, to interact with the people and show joy or fear or whatever. And I mean, that's one small thing, but it's very impressive. Like, he really knows his craft if he doesn't do a break anytime.
Yeah, but I also thought like before, when I thought about these personal development gurus, and you said they behave, or you imagine like the setting when you go to this arena, it's like a Sekte, as you said. The thing is, I was the same. I was pretty hesitant about these topics. And when I arrived there, I was like, okay, let's just see. I'm open to that because I didn't have to pay for the ticket, so that was a good thing. Anyways, if I had to pay 10K or something for this one event, being in first row, I would have never paid for it. But the second you experience that and you see how many people actually trust this guy, and be it Conor McGregor, Steph Curry, even Donald Trump, or very huge politicians, like they actually trust him. They work with him, like the biggest CEOs. They really believe in this guy's handcraft. And when you join this platinum circle, there are really, really successful entrepreneurs. Like there was the photographer of Donald Trump. I met him. Or there were honestly like a couple of billionaires. And also if you look at the guy's wrists, there were several Richard Millys and all these kind of things. So I mean, it's pretty American.
I know you're
but
a watch
still,
guy. Yeah.
But the thing is, you see these guys and they are really successful entrepreneurs. And I just think imagine this guy is a billionaire, and he has 24 hours like every one of us every day. And he's spending 4 days straight listening to this guy, and he's following his steps and all of this, right? And they are obviously successful. Also, if you look at, let's say, Steph Curry or Conor McGregor, like these guys, they have a choice, right? They can also decide on how to spend their time and how to invest into the right consultants and people that push them forward. And all of these guys are actually considering to work with Tony Robbins. And this undeniable social proof is crazy. And when I joined this experience, I felt like he's actually acting up on it and he's delivering. And but you got to experience it yourself, because I was hesitant myself beforehand, but he proved me a bit wrong. So I'm still very thankful to had the honor to experience that event.
That's cool. Tim, I introduced you at our office with Demi Kate, that you're the German Daniel Dallin, kind of like a rising star in the social media scene. Build in public is a big word. Like you're building your company and showing people the way. You're showcasing your daily life and all that. And today I want to learn a little bit more about that. How you structure that, how do you put out that content and all that. But can you give us a little bit of a background of what your content is about and how it blew up, especially on Instagram?
Yeah, sure. Maybe to go a couple of years back. So when I was still working in a corporate, like I was working for 7 years in large corporates in Germany, working in a very old economy energy industry. And I did CEO branding and CEO communication. And when I started my business Elevati 4.5 years ago, I helped CEOs to build a personal brand on LinkedIn. I started ghostwriting for them, and I worked for the Dutch government, the German government. I worked for large German corporates, and I helped their CEOs to become a personal brand on LinkedIn. And I was always the guy behind, right? I was ghostwriting, and I never invested that much in my own personal brand. So the thing is, you see that most people that help others achieve a certain thing, they don't really do it for themselves. Like a lot of agency guys, also like be it about videos or websites or social media consultants, they have a poor presence sometimes themselves. And I found a year ago that my business was taking off and I had very good references, but in the end I felt like if I want to showcase something to my potential customers, I got to do it myself. So I decided to go double down on my personal brand myself, push LinkedIn, push my Instagram. And in May or April this year, I also decided to do YouTube. Since you mentioned Daniel Dallin, if you don't know this guy, better check him out. He's very successful on Instagram and YouTube at the moment. He's a Dutch entrepreneur living in Hong Kong and China and building businesses there. And he's documenting his life, or how you call it, building in public. So he's building companies, documenting all of this.
And maybe we should bring him on the podcast.
That would be great. That would be great.
I'll text my team.
That's good. Also looking forward to a meet and greet at some point. Though, anyways, so that was inspiring me a lot, because I was focusing on LinkedIn in the first place, growing my personal brand there. Then I went over to doing short video content on Instagram and TikTok, put it out there, and then I started also with the YouTube thing, and I just currently see that the feedback on YouTube is crazy. Like building the community and how to bond with people when they actually listen to you and see what you're doing, like every week for more than 10 minutes, they honestly have a connection to you and they feel like they know you. And this bonding experience is crazy. So
how's your structure? Like, let's say you're shooting a vlog for YouTube.
Yeah.
You're filming with the Osmo 3, like just small pocket camera.
Yeah.
And no external mic, nothing, just that. But how's the structure of the vlog, and how do you think about it? How much content do you shoot per session or per video?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, overall, I'm posting on average 45 times a week on social media. Like, I have 2 Instagram accounts, I have 2 TikTok accounts, I have 1 LinkedIn account and 1 YouTube account.
Why do you have 2 Instagram and 2 TikTok?
Well, so the thing is, I started doing lifestyle, travel, fashion, sports stuff for me in private. Like the personal brand I had before was Tim, and
so when is Tim
Tim Krasenbrink, basically, like my private account. And I was doing TikTok there. I had over 50,000 followers. I was doing social media on my private Instagram stuff, and I had a couple of followers there. So
what's the second Instagram account? I don't find it.
Tim KRSN.
Okay.
Well, and so I started doing this kind of thing because I was modeling for a couple of brands, and I did content for them. I had a couple of cool deals with brands like Gatorade or Lululemon and About You, and I worked with a couple of cool brands together, and but I never did it for my business. So I just did it for myself as kind of a side hustle, doing some content here and there, doing some influencing and these kind of things. But I felt like there's more to it to actually build a business personal brand. And then I started my business accounts in parallel, and now they took over all the reach, and now I see myself more as a business creator, but I still play content on both accounts. I'm not considering to merge them because I have completely different target groups. But yeah, so I still have a lot of accounts, and they all need to be played. Yeah.
Nice. So coming back to YouTube, how's the structure and the scale? How do you think about it?
Well, first of all, I have to say that for YouTube, I started this with two of my kind of friends or young entrepreneurs out of my ecosystem, so to say. And I told them I want to start with YouTube. Can you help me somehow? So they were bringing their microphones and cameras. So we started off very professional to give me also some security so that I know what I'm putting out is very professional. But in the end, we did this for 2 or 3 videos, like having this high-end production kind of things. And then I felt like what you're saying, building in public and having like this kind of these insights behind the curtain. The people want to see how you are hustling at 12:30 midnight, having no sleep, and what you're struggling with. They don't want to see this highly polished stuff. So at some point I said, guys, I really appreciate your support, but let me just use this small Osmo Pocket, and I just honestly like put it literally out of my pocket every day. I just film 7 days straight. I upload it into the cloud, and then I have a cutter. He's supporting me with the video editing. So honestly, I'm just using this camera, documenting my life. It's about business. It's about my learnings. It's about the struggles that I'm facing every day. It's about the wins. It's about the losses. It's about the learnings and all of that. So I just try to give some insights in my business, in my lifestyle, in projects that I'm currently working on, in business travels like this, and I'm just putting it very raw in this POV kind of, and I'm just sharing that on social media.
Nice, that's cool. So what do you think makes it successful, or why? I assume some of the things are like real vulnerability, and it's not like only showcasing the cool stuff. But what do you think? How should it look like that it's actually working out?
Honestly, what I saw when I started sharing business content on social media is that, especially in the German industry, there are a lot of people that want to flex and brag, and they are not real, right? So I mean, they can be successful, but it's always like they show what they have. It's like, they are pretty much showing off, and they want to tell others that they are better. And it's always like this comparing, right? It's not about, I'm struggling with this, I hope I can help others. And honestly, like my real why and my purpose is to help others to actually fulfill their whole potential. And I'm just documenting all my struggles, and I just think that this is the way that I'm honestly having an impact, and I can help others. I don't help others when I show them that I closed a big deal or I'm making a lot of money, or I don't know, like even when I'm documenting, like I picked up a new car a couple of days ago, and I'm documenting this, but this is like part of my life, and I'm sharing my journey. I tell my story and my fuck ups and all of this kind of stuff. And I'm always trying to be very humble and trying to just help others to achieve their dream life, what I'm actually doing myself at the moment. So I just feel like this pure honesty and transparency and sharing whatever I'm struggling with, be it, I'm in therapy since January, and I share this on social media because I don't feel like this kind of vibe where you gotta act like you are something better or whatsoever. So I'm just sharing honestly whatever I'm struggling with. I'm sometimes, I don't know, crying on camera when I have a fucked up day, and it's just like this pure honesty and transparency that people really like, and I appreciate that, because the best thing honestly is that you get credits for being yourself. Imagine you get credits for the role you play. It's fucked up, but imagine you get credits and people love that you're just being yourself, and that's amazing. That's why I love it.
Well, valuable insights. That's amazing. I'm thinking, so back then when my company was a little bit smaller and I had a bit more time, for me it was also easy to film here and there. So, and right now it feels every millisecond of my day is packed. I get up and put up WhatsApp messages. As we're in different time zone, there's 30 messages I have to answer, right? I could answer them later, but I don't like to answer them later even less, right? So I just get it done. Then I drive to the office. On the way to the office, I'm thinking about like the first call. Call started today at 7 a.m. And I was just going through all of that. And in between the calls, I didn't have a break until 10. And when I had the first break, I'm having some breakfast, but then I'm talking to some employees here and like just checking in with them. What are their struggles? What are they doing? Like just a little bit of socializing, right? And there's no time in between, and the day goes on. And basically yesterday it was going on. Then we had a podcast recording, and basically at 5 I wrapped it up, went home, went to the gym. Went to a business dinner. I came home at 10. Fell to bed. amazing day, awesome day, but no time for any content or any filming. How do you squeeze that in? How would you squeeze that in? What's your recommendation?
Honestly, like I know exactly how you're feeling, because like at least when I'm in Germany, like 7 out of 7 days a week like are exactly the same, and I work a lot. Honestly, I still love it, so it's not about bragging how much I work. I just love what I'm doing, honestly. But at the same time, what you're saying, this really resonates with me. The thing is, honestly, since I'm even busier with my business and all these projects, I'm making more content. And the thing is, it's the same with kind of scale ups that I'm working with. So as soon as you start growing, you need a foundation for that. And the foundation for growing companies, be it in terms of revenue, be it in terms of human resources, or be it in terms of any kind of output, let's say content, the foundation for that is always to have the right systems and processes. It's always the same. You can't hire people if you don't have the systems and processes to actually put them on. So everything that I'm currently doing is based on the routines and the knowledge that I built the years before, when I was helping more than 700 CEOs to build their personal brand. And the second I started doing this myself, I didn't know what I want to share exactly, but I knew how to do it. So I was just starting putting out a few content pieces, and whatever worked, I was doubling down on that one. But the thing is that I exactly know how to build these processes, be it for business or be it for content. And, like I always like to work in content batches, for instance. So when you start meeting someone like from your team and just say, okay, let's block half a day to do some Instagram reels, for instance, then you just do like 25 reels on that day, and that you just need to block, let's say for me it takes 2 hours maybe to do 25 reels. Mm-hmm. And then I have...
Are you doing the script or someone of your team?
It depends. So I always have new ideas. So sometimes I do this podcast thing. Then we do something like, I have an idea. I'm just walking around and say to someone, hey, can you film me? And I just talk. Sometimes I just have a thought, and I just like, honestly, like on these busy days, I'm just very, very tired in bed. It's 12:30. And I'm just in bed and I'm just sharing my thoughts and what I learned on that day. And I just think, again, this raw kind of thing where you just feel like, oh, you are like, there's an entrepreneur and he wants to honestly share some insights from his life or his business. And there's the true value when it's not highly polished, and when it's not like 3 hours through editing and everyone was trying to make it perfect, right? I guess the best videos are actually like when I came out of a train or a plane or something, and I just like I didn't do my hair or anything. It's just like the raw shit that really gets the engagement, because people appreciate that when you take out of your phone and you just share it. Like very transparent with your audience. And the thing is, you always got to think, okay, how can I put out value for my audience? And when you have a couple of good systems for that, obviously having a team and processes and everyone knows what to do, then it's so easy. So the second I arrived in New York last week, I had 8 LinkedIn posts prepared for 2 weeks, and my assistant knows when to post them and when to share them, and because everything is prepared, and I know that I got to put out the content, and if I promise this to myself that I'm delivering it, and I promise this to my audience, they know they can rely on me, because I promised them to bring them value and content, and they know what they are getting when they follow my account. And that's also the credibility that you build up on, because you hold yourself accountable. And that's only possible when you build this foundation of having bulletproof systems and processes.
How do you make sure the content still aligns with your kind of like value proposition of your personal brand? Because I'm interested in a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm interested in business, in aviation, in running, in golfing, in lifestyle, in LA, in food, and so much different stuff. And I have thoughts on everything, right? And I could put it out all day, every day. Basically, like a Twitter dump, or X, like just brain dump. how do you make sure it still fits the relevant niche and it gives that value to the people?
Well, I guess like with everything in business, test, learn, build bigger. So you got to put something out and see how it resonates with the followers. Like maybe the 0.1% shares the first video 1 million views, second video 2 million views, like everyone started like with some content that's maybe not working or not resonating with anyone on social media. But the best thing is to actually see and understand why is it not working, and at the same time trying to understand, okay, what's working. So you're doing the same with your projects, and you get feedback from your customers, you get feedback from your teammates. That's the most important thing, to not close your eyes and just say, okay, the algorithm doesn't like me, right? So the thing is, just put things out, test it, and obviously take the right learnings and then even improve it. And this iteration cycle, you got to do it over and over again. And let's assume that you're putting out 45 content pieces a week. And then your team is like there's so much knowledge inside your team, because everyone knows what to do, because you get feedback in the comments, in the DMs, you get feedback from others that actually approach you on the street and say, man, I love this video because you did this and that. Okay, I double down on it the next time. So it's all about, putting things out. I was posting on LinkedIn. I just shared this last week. I was posting on LinkedIn for over 5 years, and I grew my audience up to 5,000 followers. And 9 months later, I tripled my followers from 5K to over 16K now.
Wow.
And I'm not even engaging with anyone anymore, because I just put out content, and I'm rarely.
What was the tipping point?
Obviously, you get better. It's like exponential, right? You're just trying things and it's not working. You get 5 likes, you get 4 likes, you get 3 likes. I don't know. It's always the same, but at some point.
What's a topic that resonates with your audience right now?
Honestly, like the most. It depends. So I have different content pillars, so to say, like on LinkedIn. I like on Monday and Wednesday, I always post about personal branding, social selling. Like I'd say my thought leadership content, so to say. This also brings leads, so-called inbound leads. So people approach me, say, hey, I like your post. They click on my profile. My profile is designed like a landing page. They book a call with my team. This is pretty cool to actually generate new leads. Monday and Wednesday are my thought leader posts. Every Friday, I started this exactly 1 year ago. It's my so-called Tim's Business Diary. I invented a new format, and I just started sharing my journey as a founder on LinkedIn. So I just wrote whatever happened during that week, or whatever I'm thinking about, or whatever I'm struggling about. So that was actually on LinkedIn 1 year ago when I started this. And I guess like there are more than 20 or 30 guys on LinkedIn actually copying this kind of format, or they approach me and say, hey, I like this, can I copy that? So that was very successful. Like every Friday, sharing my raw insights about my business and the things I'm working on and the things I'm struggling with. And since 2 months, I'm sharing every Sunday. I'm recycling one of my reels from Instagram and TikTok, and I just share it on the LinkedIn Shorts, since they're also boosting the short videos now. And this is full madness. Like I honestly, like every second video gets more than 100,000 views on LinkedIn, because they are pushing this feature so much. So I'm also testing this, I'm sharing my 7th or 8th video this Sunday on LinkedIn, and I'm just testing it out, and most of them go viral. So you just try new things.
That's great. Nice. If you look up to my profiles, I think it's always a good thing. We always do in a podcast here like an analysis, right? And like a little like a life analysis.
Yeah.
As most of our listeners know what I'm posting, know what I'm doing, and I think it's a good example where you can work on. What would you do different if you see the channels I'm playing with? Yeah. Like most of the time, it's like Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube.
Yeah. So I think the second you moved to LA, you obviously lost kind of connection to your followers, because you had to switch a lot to English content, obviously. Plus, you don't have the network yet in LA the second you came here. So I feel like the task for you basically is to focus on community management and bonding with people. So you gotta just, as I said, give them the
I gotta
view.
make some notes here. That's
Yeah,
good.
sure. You just gotta give them the the view behind the curtain, basically. Show them your office, what your life is like, everything that I just said. Because I feel like everyone is currently a thought leader, right? Everyone wants to be the best, and everyone wants to do this kind of focused content on their business niche. So, and it feels like everyone is just sharing these ChatGPT posts and say, okay, man, I need to share something about video production or whatsoever. But honestly, do your clients care about which camera you are using or whatsoever? I guess it's all about making connections, because customers like people and not brands. And I mean, also in my industry, there are so many great consultants that help other entrepreneurs or CEOs to become visible on LinkedIn. We have a lot of contacts in common. But the thing is, the people don't work with me because they say I need to optimize my LinkedIn profile or I need some inbound leads or whatsoever. They work with me because they want to work with me. And that's the thing. And you also have a very strong personal brand. The second I said I'm going to LA, I'm talking to Benny, I'm on his podcast. There were a lot of people like, I know him. We had this project in common. I was at an event of him and whatsoever.
That's cool.
Like, you have this strong personal brand, but you gotta make deeper connections, and not only, okay, this is this guy that did this project whatsoever, but just bring some trust and bring more eye level and more transparency to everything that you're doing. And I just feel like that's something that's missing within your content. To be more pure, maybe.
Yeah, I think I'm doing this in the newsletter, the weekly newsletter, but I would love to. Actually, you guys can sign up on newtrendsociety.com/newsletter. It's called The Bigger Picture. So I'm zooming out, talking a little bit about life in LA, some advices. So you always get a little bit of learning from it. But I think video is always one of my favorite formats, as you can talk, you see emotions, you see how people act and how they behave. And I think I definitely just need to make the time. And for our dear listeners, you heard it first here. I definitely want to work on that. And it's true what you said. Like when you're moving over here, it takes a while to build everything again, right? It's kind of like starting from scratch. Yeah. And I was definitely struggling like the past year when, especially if you see, we have the Europe office in Leipzig, and everything was amazing. So let me give you an example. We had in summer we had a big festival tour of all the big festivals: Perukaville, Lollapalooza, Superbloom, and we rented out a nightliner with a tour bus, like a rock star band, and we rent that out for our media team, the videographers, the photographers. It was amazing, right? But I wasn't there. I was here sitting in my apartment on my desk and thinking about, like, did I do the right decision? They were having the time of their life. The whole team, everything was amazing, and it's great to see them bonding and having fun, and also the company is going well. But as a founder, you're often in that position where you have to think ahead and think like, okay, what's the next step? And I believe our future is here and our North Star is here. And therefore, you definitely need to make sacrifices. And being lonely is definitely one part of it.
I mean, that's very nice, because you show yourself vulnerable, and what you just shared is something that everyone can relate to. But I assume that you never shared these thoughts actually with others, like big time on social media.
I mean, a little bit, but not that much. Mostly in keynotes, right? Or we're doing the mastermind experience together with Sarah Emmerich, and that's a good place and a safe environment. But yeah, actually, put this out more realness on Instagram and put it into easy consumable form video. I think that would be definitely a good way to proceed that.
maybe one other advice, because as you're just talking about this, I just think that the most people that start doing content, they are so focused on their ICP, their ideal customer profile, that they only address them. So I would rather always start to addressing a bigger audience, and then you will reach your ICP anyways, right? So when you start sharing these thoughts, for instance, and there are so many agency owners in Germany or other countries, also me, like I'm considering to move to another country in the next 2 years. I'm traveling a lot. I'm looking around. I'm connecting to a lot of entrepreneurs. I'm looking for the right spot, be it now in New York or San Diego, or be it Los Angeles, or even like in Europe, what I'm currently preferring, be it in Marbella, Spain, whatever, you name it. I love these thoughts. And why did you decide to go to Los Angeles? What are your current struggles that you're facing? As that, people want to hear that. They want to see that. Honestly, I feel like nobody actually cares about a nice project that you're creating. I mean, for sales, it's cool to have a nice case study. But if leads are interested in case studies, they will find it, or you will send it to them. But I feel if you start approaching a bigger audience, your ICP will also be reached, but you will have a larger group of people that consume your content. You have a bigger impact, and the right people will be found either way. So when I started doing YouTube, I'm investing a lot of time and resources, which is also money, into that. I have 3 people on my team that support me just on YouTube. I have a little more than 3,000 followers. I don't know. Currently, I earn 15 euros with each video. It's not that I'm making any kind of money with it, but the leads that I received through this content in the last weeks, even though sometimes my videos only got 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 views, that's insane. Honestly, like they were CEOs from very large media companies, for instance, in Germany. Also, a CEO of a very, very very large FMCG brand, an American one. The CEO of the DACH region reached out to me for personal branding, and like these are people where I thought, okay, they are 45, 50 plus whatsoever. They consume my YouTube videos, and they just like it, and they say, I don't care about the price, let's just work together. And they give you they give you the confirmation of the project with their request if you can work together, basically. So they approach you and say, okay, I want to work with you, I don't care about the price. And this is something I was wondering, like, honestly, I don't do the content for them, but the second you start putting out this vulnerability and you share your story, you will also find your audience for sure.
That's great advice. I hope you guys, as you're listening, can apply that to your own strategy, your own channels. I have one more topic I wanted to talk to you about, and this is your community. It's Skool. Skool is an online platform for communities, for bringing people together that have the same thoughts, the same interests. It can be business, it can be a hobby, it can be whatever. And you have their forum, you have a video platform, or a space where you can put member content, videos, notes, all that for people who don't know Skool yet. It's Skool. I like it, but I'm not that active on it. But tell us your insights and your learnings about how you build that community. It's called NO925. How's that going?
Well, as mentioned, 4.5 years ago, I founded my company Elevati, and I was actually struggling to get access to other entrepreneurs and people that help me with any kind of struggles that you're having, be it paying taxes in Germany, how to win customers, how to design your first website, you name it. Like when you started building your first company, like you have to do everything on your own, and you don't know where to start. And I was lacking mentors. I was lacking good community and exchange, and getting just access to information and all kind of that. And I just felt like I wanted to give something back to the people that follow my social media. I want to bring together like cool people that exchange on even these topics and struggles. So I decided to build a community for digital entrepreneurs, like people that are actually working on their laptop. So the ICP for the community is basically founders that are B2B focused and also a lot of service focused. Like I'd say like 80% of the community members are consultants, coaches, agency owners, web designers, freelancers, all these kind of things. From one people businesses to we have entrepreneurs with over 100 employees. And I just started this and it just felt like, okay, I'll just bring people together that actually commit to not having a 9-to-5 job. That's where the name comes from. And I just thought it's cool. So I just started doing that. And within one day, we had more than 100 members. And I have to say that the community is paid. So it's not like...
When did you start it?
When it started? In August. Okay. So in this week, we hit... I guess 180 followers, so it's members. So it's not that it took off like insane, but still having 180 paid members at the moment is huge, because like there are people committed, and that's also the thing why it's paid, because I only want people that are actually committed to give back to the community, that have skin in the game, but the price of the community is not that high that they feel like it's too much, but it's like this slight price that people have the commitment to actually come to the community calls, to actually engage with the other community members.
How many calls do you have?
It's currently $39 a month. So with that, we are one of the biggest paid communities in Germany in terms of monthly recurring revenue through Skool, because the other big communities are actually free. So basically, we are one of the biggest ones in the German field. And I also do like physical events, right? So the last one, I paid more than 10,000 euros for the event, but I paid it myself and was free for the community members. So I use their monthly fees basically to reinvest it into the community and give something back. So I organize speakings, I organize events, we have private dinners.
Calls also?
Yeah, so every Wednesday, you should come next time. So every Wednesday I have a speaker, like a guest speaker, and I just open like my network to these guys. So what you do on the podcast, I just have it exclusively for the community members. So I just invite founders with cool stories that they share their learnings, and we do sometimes like a live podcast like this, or we have a Q&A, or they hold a quick keynote, and then they have exclusive access only for the community members, and it's not being shared anywhere else. So the exclusiveness is very cool, because if you consider that you pay like $9 a week, and then you have like a one-to-one Q&A session with very, very large CEOs and successful entrepreneurs, having access to our events. We have a LinkedIn powerhouse, so we boost all our LinkedIn posts, like you comment there, and then you have 180 entrepreneurs that push your LinkedIn post. That was also a big accelerator for my personal brand, because you have a lot of guys that engage with your content. We have my full personal branding masterclass, which is worth 2,900 euros. It's for free for every community member. So I guess when it's about building successful digital businesses that are able to scale, it's about making a no-brainer offer. So I put everything that I have, all my resources in that community, to make it a blast for everyone that's within that family, actually. And it's paying back, because people appreciate what you're doing and what you're investing and what you're putting out, and that's the best thing you do. So you just give, and at some point you are able to ask, and that's also the mantra that I'm always sharing with the guys in the community. So just being committed to give something in order to receive something back, if possible.
That's great. Yeah, I think I learned. I don't think I know. I learned a lot today, so that's really cool, and that's why I love these conversations here on New Trend Society podcast. So if you guys want to check out what Tim is doing, check out the Skool community NO925 Instagram profile, or one of them, Tim Elevati, and the YouTube videos. So that's amazing. Tim, thank you so much for all these insights and your time. I hope you liked LA and it was treating you well. and hope to see you anytime soon.
Benny, thanks for having me. Thanks for everyone that was listening in. And I hope we have a great time in the gym now.
Perfect. Take care,
Let's
man.
go, man.
Cheers.